All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the RnRGzrs show, your weekly update site for rock news. A little few weeks vacation time we took to, gather things up and whatnot. But we're back in action here, and we got some good news coming your way. I'm your host, Murph, and of course, we can't do it without my co-host, Doc Fox. How you doing there, Doc?
Doing quite well, sir. Glad to be back. Yeah, took a couple 3 weeks off there to kind of take care of a few things, but we'd be back. You knew we'd be back.
Sure enough, man.
So
Yeah, a lot of news, good and bad and indifferent going on here. So heck, we should probably just jump right into it, eh?
yeah, I just want to thank everybody for checking us out and being back with us after our little break. Greatly appreciated and all the support. So please continue with any support that you can throw our way. We greatly appreciate it. Please tell
Boom.
a
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah. And good news. And I'm really excited about this.
Yeah.
Sammy Hager, he's going out on tour. He's since Eddie passed, everybody's been talking about the tribute concert or whatever for Eddie. And Sammy finally said, "Okay, enough is enough. Let's do the tour. Let's honor the
Yeah.
memory of Van Halen." And boy, oh boy, he did it right. He gave Vic Johnson the summer off or whatever. Vic Johnson, his usual guitarist that we've seen a couple of times.
Who I
And
think is just fabulous. He had no
oh
problem
yeah,
playing the Van Halen stuff. So yeah, I don't know.
but boy, they
Yeah,
brought in a ringer, man. Joe
I
Satriani is going to be playing guitar, and I think that was a genius move because you got to have somebody like that to play Eddie. You just have to. Yeah, and it's funny because he was playing on the Howard Stern show. They played a song or two on Howard Stern, and they hadn't played together at all yet, and they just sort of practiced at home. Of course, Eddie, Sammy and all them knew their parts. Mike, the bass player, and Joe came in and he did, yeah, not too bad considering he's just still learning all Eddie's parts. But it's going to be a monster tour. I'm excited. They're coming to Tinley Park, my man. So
coming to
they're
our
coming to our
venue. Yeah,
neighborhood, brother. So that's a definite must on our summer concert scene. And boy, what do you think? Do you think Satriani's a good choice on that?
yeah. That's what I was thinking with Vic Johnson. Yeah, I when we saw him, I was very impressed with him. But yeah, when you got Joe Satriani, it's like, sorry, Vic. Yeah,
Yeah.
see if
Take
you
the
can.
summer off.
Yeah, see what else you got going on. But yeah, so filling out the band. Of course, Joe Satriani also was in Chicken Foot with Sammy
Sure.
Hagar.
Oh,
If you
right,
may
right. So
remember.
they've already
So
got
they've
previous
already had a
ties.
connection. Yeah.
Sure,
And
sure.
he's got
Wow.
Michael Anthony, of course, on bass, and
Mm-hmm.
Jason Bonham,
Ah,
who's
yes.
in his band The Circle and was with him when we saw him. He's back there behind the drums. He's just playing with he's playing with everybody. That guy's everywhere.
He really
But
has. He
yeah,
really has. And they say be deep diving. Not so much into Sammy's Montrose and his solo stuff, but they're gonna do hit on the edges of that, but they're really gonna do a deep dive into the Van Halen
yeah.
catalog. He says this is gonna be his tribute to Eddie, and I think it's a fabulous idea. And it's about time,
Yeah, like you said, the people they've been talking about it and him hauling around about it, and what are we gonna do? And is this guy in? Is that guy in? Nobody's talking to this guy, and he just decided, hey, he's what is Sam? 75, 76 now. I
Oh,
mean, he's ageless, but
mid
still he's getting up
70s,
there.
yeah, right.
And
Now
he's
he
like,
said
if I'm not gonna do it, nobody else is gonna do it, and this is
the
gonna be
time is now.
the de facto the Van Halen tribute tour is basically what it's gonna be. So he put the oh, by the way, before we get too far into opening up on the tour is Loverboy. They just
Ah,
seem like every year they're opening up for somebody, man. They
well,
have
they
this
got a
3 years in a
solid
row,
set
man.
though. They put a solid
Yeah,
set up
yeah,
last summer when we saw them. So
yeah.
that's it. Yeah, they'll have a real solid crowd to play to. And Loverboy, it was all hits all night long with them. So that's I think it's a good choice. Good for
Yeah.
Sammy. Yeah, yeah, because they'll be appreciated. And the Sammy set ought to be just off the off the wall. So
Like I say, he realizes, if he's not going to do it, who's going to do it? So he's putting the invite out to David Lee Roth and to Alex Van Halen. And hey, well, you guys want to join? Come on up. Hey, we'll be happy to have you. And haven't heard anything from Alex, but there's rumblings that Dave might be in, man.
Dave is in. Yes, I think he texted, "Let's do this. I'm in. So I'm ready to go. Let's do this." That's what he said. So
Yeah,
he's
I don't
in.
think any contracts have been signed or anything like that yet. But
I can't see, at this point in their careers and with the age creeping up on them, I would imagine, I
and
know,
Dave's no dummy, man. He's no dummy.
I know
He sees the
Sammy's got
opportunity.
money, and I'm sure Dave's got money. They don't have to do it for anything more than just for the tribute, for the honor of
Yeah,
it. So,
okay.
gosh, I hope he sure does it. I know he doesn't sound good, but they've got to be able to pick out a handful of songs that Dave doesn't
Dude,
get
just to
real
see him
high
come out and
on.
do "Ain't Talking About Love," man, that would be fucking. That would be it, man. That would be good right there.
But that's a definite must on our summer concert series,
Yeah.
for sure. That's a doozy. So holy schmokums, good for Sammy. I'm glad he's putting this together. And I quite honestly, I don't expect Alex to make any move at all on playing. It seems like he's
Yeah,
just
he's been pretty well clammed up. He hasn't been. You haven't heard anything from him.
but
So
that's okay. Jason will do well. We've seen him a few times, and good for him. Yeah, very cool. I'm very excited. Good for Sammy, and hopefully Dave will remain within the boundaries of sanity throughout this, because I hear
well, he's got to
people,
be 70 by now, right? No, maybe
but he's
not.
still insane.
Pushing
You know,
70,
I
probably. Yeah.
hear, every now and then you see somebody or read an article about somebody who's dealt with him, and they say he's just out of control.
Oh
He's
yeah,
just
everybody. Yeah,
a
yeah.
madman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
every interview you see with him, he's just all over the place. He makes no
Oh
sense. Yeah.
boy, out of control. Okay, moving on. Boy, Kiss, Jiminy Creepers. Wow. You know, they're on their farewell tour, and I think it ends in December 2nd or something in New York, I believe.
Yeah, yeah. Madison Square Garden gonna be the final show, just blocks from where they started.
Yeah, good for them. But they've been going through their final tour and whatnot, and apparently Paul Stanley took really ill right before they were supposed to be doing their Canada shows, and they had to cancel at least three
I
shows,
think it was
right?
two, Toronto and Ottawa that I know of.
Wow.
There
Okay. Okay.
possibly been a third, but yeah.
I thought there was a third, but nonetheless, what a drag! What a drag of a time to get ill. The very end, basically the
Yep.
ending weeks of your
Yep.
final
There,
tour,
there,
and
there
you
is no
end up ill.
rescheduling. There is no, postponing. There is, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah,
They're
yeah.
just, they're just SOL, man. No Kiss
Uh,
show in Toronto or Ottawa,
Paul
man.
Stanley goes down. He says, "Toronto and Ottawa. I've done everything possible to get on stage and be part of the incredible 2.5 hour celebration we planned, but this flu has made it impossible." See how I went from a wimpy voice to a metal voice? Stanley wrote.
I
in a
wish I could
message on
do a good
social
Paul Stanley.
media.
He's got kind of like a slight lisp and he's got a certain tone to his voice. I wish I could do a good Paul Stanley, man.
But then he of course he posts the picture of him in the hospital bed with an IV drip. Yeah, we've been there and done that, pal. Whatever. I've had two at one time, two IVs, but they were jamming morphine into me, man. Yeah. And it still wasn't working. So I'm pretty
Yeah, I
good on
noticed
that.
that he put out on, I don't know, whatever social media. Yeah, there's this picture of him and looks like a comfy hotel room somewhere. He's got the IV drip going there.
Yeah. Oh
But,
yeah, yeah. On my second grabber, man, it was so bad. Really, they were jamming morphine into both arms. Like, this guy's a hero. Look at him. Look at all the morphine he's taking. It was crazy cool. But anyway, back to Paul. He says, I, along with Gene, Tommy, and Eric, couldn't be more disappointed and send our deepest apologies. Well, what do you do if you're sick? You're sick. Well, you're that. He's elderly. We're elderly at this point. He's elderly.
You know
You
what?
know.
Put the makeup on somebody else, and I'm sure they got somebody in mind already. We've talked about what they're going to do after it, and somebody else is going to be.
Oh, they're going to continue it. Sure.
They probably already got somebody in mind. They should just give them a trial run and let him put the makeup on, whoever it's going to be, and be the new Paul.
It's sort of a drag, though. It's sort of a drag, though. So and it's canceled.
No, I know why they don't have anybody.
Not postponed, so they're not going to be able to see him again. But here's a little side note here. Holy schmokums! You remember that the couple that was killed at the border in a fiery crash in their Bentley? It's on Rainbow Bridge, the U.S. Canadian border. The couple that died, they were actually going to the Kiss concert. They were apparently planning to attend a Kiss concert in Canada, according to law enforcement. So, gosh, I hope.
Wow, that's like a Detroit Rock City stuff there, man. It's like.
But it says that, the New York couple had planned to attend Kiss's farewell concert in Ottawa. But when the concert was canceled due to guitarist Paul Stanley recovering from the flu, the man is to believe had gone to a casino in the U.S. instead. There you go.
Oh,
they left the casino and went nuts. They're talking it's possibly malfunction on his car because his car just took off. They hit a concrete something or other and just took off, and it was a Bentley. So holy cow, there's a lot of weird stuff going around this Kiss tour. But yeah, so those people crashed when they found out that Paul was sick, and they're back. They're back now. They got another week. That's it. They're down to like a week left, and the mighty Kiss is heading out the door.
Wow. Well, they won't be touring anymore, but they'll still be. Who knows what? We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I won't speculate, but yeah, they're finishing up in New York, their hometown, and they're doing a big what they call it, a takeover. And they're pretty much taking over the city, man. Wow. They got pop-up stores popping up all over the place. The cards, the Metro cards, for the public transportation or Kiss cards. New York Rangers are having Kiss night. They're having there's a thing on Google Maps that you can get, and it takes you around to all the Kiss, significant sites in New York, I guess where they started and where, who knows, where Gene and Paul invented anal sex, whatever. I don't know, whatever. But wow. Ads all over the place. They got taxis with the full wraparound, Kiss thing, full wraparound taxis all over the place. Boy. They got some kind of Kiss Peloton, the treadmill thing or whatever.
Sure.
Kiss in there. They got Kiss Pizza of all things. It's just so yeah, they're just taking over. And the last show you will be able to watch. It's a pay-per-view deal. It's $39.99 US.
Yeah.
And it's available to be seen. So yeah.
I'll watch it.
Not sure what the streaming service is or how you can get it. But it's
no, I can.
Oh yeah.
I'm good. I'll definitely be able to get that. Yeah, I watch all the pay-per-views. It's very exciting. I love the internet. But yeah, so there you go, man. It's crazy cool.
And of course, everybody's wondering if there'll be surprises. Is Peter or Ace going to join them, or I say
would
no.
bet not. No,
I bet not.
At
best, maybe a Vinnie Vincent will crawl up on stage, man.
Oh my gosh, I doubt that very much. No. Holy cow, he seems to be in a really whacked out world himself. So Vinnie Vincent, but yeah, it'll be glorious. It'll be glorious to see them finally end it. After all these years of putting that crap on their face. Jeez,
I wonder if they'll do a small tribute to Eric Carr. They might, just kind of, give him a tip of the hat, kind of mention them or something. I don't know.
That's possible. That's possible. But okay, moving on, man. Hey. Hall of Fame. There it is.
Our favorites.
There. Yeah, the Hall of Fame. They're you got their nominees out. And it's
oh no, they had the induction.
Or the induction, geez. Because we're gonna be we're talking about something else after this. So okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, doing the inductions. What do you think about them, man? What are your thoughts on what's going
Yeah,
on there?
we reported that when it happened, when they announced who was going in, and I felt it was a pretty weak class of well, they have the performer category, which is the bulk of them, and then they have
Right.
the other little side categories. I thought the other little side categories they did really well this year, but the performers were really weak. Just to run over real through them real quick, we want to just to remind everybody, very female heavy kind of list this year.
Sure
Start
seems
off
like it. Yeah.
with Kate Bush,
Mm-hmm.
which just kind of seems like a niche kind of a pick, kind
Yeah.
of.
Wow. Running up the hill. That sort of
Yeah.
took off in the last couple of years. So
Yeah, I guess now like, seeing this cross generations, maybe that was enough to kind of tip the scales for her to get in, I suppose. But
yeah. Yeah.
got her
Uh-huh.
and Cheryl Crow. Is that
Mm.
kind of a push for women to get in? Is she kind of
I'm
ride
sorry.
those coattails?
The thing about thing about Cheryl, you know what I think about her now? Whenever I think of Cheryl
Yeah, I know
Crow
with the toilet
with the
paper. Yeah,
toilet paper, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Cheryl, you blew it. You shouldn't have said that, even if it was a
I
joke. She came by later on and said it was just a joke.
yeah,
Although
I'm
who
sure it
knows?
was.
But that was yeah, boy, that's what everybody thinks of her now. Wow, she should be a spokesperson now for
Charmin or something. Yeah.
Charmin or something.
You can
Sure.
use more than one square, right? Use up some,
Yes.
yeah.
Instead of those
Yeah,
stupid bears. Yeah. Good
yeah,
grief.
right. Shitting
And
in the
then
woods,
Missy
whatever.
Elliott. What the heck, Missy Elliott?
Yeah, I see that again as a big push on to get some women in there and
Ugh.
kind of a PC pick. I mean, this is her first ballot. To me, is she a first ballot? I don't think so. You know,
Wow. No,
I
no,
think
no,
she's
no, 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 no.
borderline even getting in, but first ballot, that's really pushing it. And then we got George Michael, who
Yeah.
I'm kind of a closet George Michael fan. I think he's got a fabulous voice, man.
Oh, it was smooth as hell, man. Are you kidding?
But
Yeah. Some
but
great songs. Oh,
you know what else it
geez.
seems like to me too? Every so often, maybe I don't know. Every year it happens. Maybe I just notice it every so often. But someone in their acceptance speech will say so and so should be in, and it
Yeah.
seems like a year or two after that, that person gets in. It kind of seems like I remember Chris Novoselic when Nirvana went in and said Joan Jett should be in, and a year or two later she was in. And I remember when Foo Fighters went in, Taylor Hawkins brought up, he said George Michael should be in, and now here George Michael's going. So maybe it's kind of like somebody Jan Winter. Well, he's out now, but whoever's
Right.
taking his place is they're oh yeah, I forgot about that guy or that band or whatever.
Wow.
Yeah,
What a
you're
way to
right.
run
Yeah,
an organization,
I
though.
don't know. It just seems like
Ah,
though every once in a while, something like they give us some support, enough support by getting mentioned that it just pushes them over the edge. I don't know, but
my green screen's doing weird stuff here.
yeah,
Yeah.
kind of.
Bizarre. My mic stand is disappearing, though. How about there it is right there? Yeah. All right. Cool. And, well,
Yeah,
Willie,
Willie
what do you think?
Nelson. I
Yeah.
kind of see that as a reaction to Dolly. It's kind of like, well, if Dolly's in, Willie's got to be in.
Here we
So
go. Geez, like I say, I'm still waiting for Judas Priest to be nominated in the Country Music Hall of Fame. But yeah, well, oh, the next one, yeah, Rage Against the Machine.
Rage
I
Against the
saw this
Machine.
where three-quarters of the band didn't even show up. It was just a guitarist. Am I correct?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm not sure on that, but yeah,
Oh, what?
Tom Morello, he's big on that. He's
Tom
done some
Morello. Yeah.
inductions. Yeah,
Yeah, he was
he's
there, but nobody else in the band was. And well, I'm glad the singer wasn't because he's
well,
well,
yeah.
not
Zach De La Rocha
singer,
is just first of
not
all, he's
as
way too cool. He's too
well. He's not
cool
a
for
singer.
school.
He's a
He's not gonna show up.
numbskull who just hollers at people through a microphone. So
Right.
I got nothing to say
Yeah,
about
he's
him.
too
He's
cool
got
for
no
school. He's not gonna
melody.
show up. The other
Got no
two guys,
melody.
who
He's got
cares?
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Got no
yeah,
melody. He's got no nothing. So Tom Morello showed up, and I hope he told the rest of them just take a hike. Even though I'm not a big Tom Morello fan because he's a commie, but well, he just seems to be. I'm just saying.
he's a big Springsteen fan, and he played with Bruce a few times. And I was at a show. I was right up on stage. I couldn't touch Bruce, but I could touch the guy that was touching Bruce. And that was a show where Tom Morello played a good part on it, and they played like their version
Oh,
of
he's a
Ghost
great
of Tom
player, but
Joad, and
yeah,
yeah, it was a
he's
fabulous
a
show.
political player, and I'm just
Yeah,
tired of
Eddie
people
Vedder
being
joined him on that
political.
show. Yeah, I know. Well, that's their whole thing, though. That's Rage Against the Machine. That's their
Jeez, yeah.
whole gig,
But
man.
they got rich due to the machine. It's just crazy. The Spinners,
The
hey,
irony. Yeah, that one. I'm like,
what,
yeah,
yeah,
really? The Spinners. I mean,
Motown, not
Rubber Band
Motown, but
Man.
were they the Philadelphia sound or
No, I
was
think
that
they were
Motown?
Motown. I think
They were
so. Yeah,
Motown, okay, because there was either Motown or the
or the
Philadelphia sound is
Philadelphia.
one of
Yeah,
the two
yeah,
major
yeah,
forces back in that
yeah.
day.
R&B.
But
Yeah,
I don't. Yeah, they should be in the R&B Hall of Fame if they aren't already. But rock and roll,
yeah. The
they
Spinners, man. I don't.
just call it the
Oh,
Music
boy.
Hall of Fame at this point. Crying
Well,
out loud.
regardless of John, I just don't. I don't know. I don't know. Who's
Well,
next? To me, that seems like the same level as Bay City Rollers. They're gonna be next. Kind of. I don't know.
oh, that hurts. Moving on
But those
though.
were the performers who I
Yeah,
thought, like I
yeah.
said, I think that was a pretty weak class. But then they had the other ones. They had the musical influence, which is the early influence kind of thing.
Sure.
And they have two inductees there. One DJ Cool Herc, which is the guy that invented hip hop, basically. So I'm thinking,
Oh,
well,
okay.
he
Well,
invented it. Hey, you gotta give that guy some props.
what about Jazz
And
Master
then
Flash? Come on.
yeah, he's already in Grandmaster
I
Flash. Yeah,
see
he's
in already.
a
Yeah, okay,
long
good.
time
He
ago.
should
Yeah.
be. And Link
And
Ray.
yeah, long overdue Link Ray,
Link
the
Ray.
the father of the power chord,
Yeah.
and to play Rumble, and I'm sure he was honored to do it. Was Jimmy Page. Jimmy Page, Link Ray was his guy. That's the guy that got him to play. That was his guy.
Yeah.
There's a documentary out there called "It Might Get Loud" with Jimmy Page, Jack White, and The Edge, and they just talked about guitars and influences and stuff like
I've
that.
seen a little bit of that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a big Link Ray guy. So anyway, so yeah, he played a Rumble, man, and that's the first time Jimmy Page has played anywhere in public in 12 years. So
Wow.
yeah,
And we got to
that was a big
remind
deal.
people of Rumble. Rumble was, there were no lyrics in the song Rumble, and yet it got banned on
Yep.
radio stations back in the day because it was just so freaking
So
wicked.
freaking nasty. An
Yeah.
instrumental gets banned.
Instrumental gets
We
banned.
can't have this upon our children's ears.
Holy cow.
What's this power chord stuff? What's
Oh, geez. And
yeah.
then we go to the Musical Excellence
Yeah,
Award.
which we call the backdoor Judas Priest Award,
Sure, sure.
which is this year
Chaka
the backdoor artist got
Khan.
in was
Chaka Khan, of course, we remember him, the Blues Brothers and the Reverend
Yeah,
Theopolis or
she's
whatever
in
his
the
choir.
choir.
She's
Yes,
in the
right. Yeah,
choir.
yeah.
That's right.
Of
So,
course, with the start off with the band Rufus, and
sure, sure.
had her own hits. So she's been up for nomination for a number of years. She got it in the back door in the musical
There you
excellence.
go. Well, there you
And
go.
then the other two, which I kind of see what the category
Sure,
might be for, is
absolutely.
producer Al Cooper,
Bingo.
who's well Skinner
Forget it.
main. I know he's been
Yeah,
Pepsi, but he's
Skinner
been all over.
mainly,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
he's
yeah,
been everywhere. And
yeah.
what a force. Yo, man. Yeah, and he plays a prominent part in the Skinner biography that I saw on Access TV. Yeah, he was really something, and they
Yeah.
clashed heads, and and that's what makes a good record is
That's what gets it out, man.
producer
You're
and
right. Yep.
and artist clash and make it better and better. And boy,
Yep.
he
Push
was
each other. Yep.
excellent. Yeah, yeah, he pushed them, and it was great. Good for
And
him.
then, of
He
course,
deserves it.
songwriter extraordinaire Bernie Taupin,
He
who
isn't
quite
in. He's got to
honestly,
be in already, right? In some
I
other.
no.
He isn't. Oh,
Well, how's he also get? He's
yeah. Well, yes.
Elton John goes. Elton John, he's in a solo artist.
Songwriters, songwriter
Oh,
thing 20
he's got to
years
be.
ago or
Yeah,
whatever.
he's got to be in songwriters Hall
I
of Fame.
would guess,
Sure that.
yeah. So
But,
Bernie Taupin,
yeah.
anybody who doesn't know, you probably already do but he basically wrote all the lyrics for the Elton John songs. Yeah, Elton John could.
And if he didn't, you probably don't like that song.
Right.
There was a couple albums that he didn't. He kind of backed off from Elton, and those were terrible albums. And then Elton's like, "I got to have you back, dude." So yeah, without Bernie Taupin, there's no Elton John. Period. And then Elton John will say as much. I mean, that's the fact of the matter.
Oh yeah, they were
So,
magic together. For good for them. Good for Al Cooper especially. Sure.
And then the final one, the final one, the Ahmet Erdogan is kind of an executives award, another long overdue. Like I said, the performers I think they missed, but in the other categories I think they did real good. So anyway, Don Cornelius,
Don Cornelius, Soul Train, yes.
Train,
Peace,
yes,
love, and soul.
so
That's right, man. Good for
man,
him.
Soul
Yes.
Train was so important back in the
Oh,
'70s, man. You know,
I
it
loved
brought that.
watching it.
Oh God, every Saturday, man. It's
Everybody
like,
watched it,
you know,
man.
yeah, it's
Oh,
like it brought that music to us, middle class white folks, and that
that's right.
we
Yeah.
get see all the new dancing and
Taught
all
me
that
how
kind
to,
of stuff.
yeah, how to dance. Yeah. Well, I didn't need your help, but oh, that dance line was always great.
Yeah,
Always great. Yeah, yeah. That was very cool. So good. That's a sensible lineup, seems to me. Except for like you said, the performers. Geez. At this
yeah.
point, it's not the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, it's the Music Hall of Fame. And
Yeah, we've talked about that, but
it
even to
is
me,
what
it
it
just
is.
gets too watered down when you're letting in, 6, 7 group. What do they have? Six, I think they normally have like six, 5, 6, 7 this time. That's too many. That's too many, man. It's just getting watered down, and everybody's got their favorite artists they think should be in. It's not in. I'm sure people will be talking. All the classic rock groups from the '70s, Foreigner and the Guess Who and Grand
Yeah.
Funk, and you name 100 of them, but then you kind of see another band like the Spinners go in, and you're kind of like, well, how did that happen? But anyway,
Yeah. Ahead of some serious rock and roll bands. Yeah. It ain't fair, man. But that's your Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, man. So, boy, that's pretty much all I got to say about that. All right, moving on. The Grammy nominations have come out.
yeah,
And,
another one of our favorite institutions. Yeah,
I feel so old. I don't know a lot of these stuff. Although, in terms of metal, yeah, I'm pretty good. We're looking at the best metal performance. And there's a lot of names we know. Disturbed, Ghost,
yeah.
Metallica, Slipknot, and what's that one? I can't even read it.
Spirit
Spirit Box.
Box.
I've never heard of Spirit Box. What's up with that? I have
I
to
think I've
look
heard
into
Lou
that.
Brutus mention them, but I don't. Yeah, I'm not familiar with any of their music. But
Have to look into that.
yeah,
Yeah.
it just kind of seems like I don't know, I always look at the Grammys like it's always these old. I picture it's like these old fogies. They're like trying to be hip with music. That just so those are familiar names to them. You know what I mean? Just they're out of touch with the metal world. Maybe these are legitimately the best metal songs. I don't know, but
Well, the only and I think the only
what is
one
it?
that's
Best metal
really
performance? Is that the
best metal
category?
performance.
Okay.
I think the only one that's breaking any ground really is Ghost. Although
Yeah.
like I say, I haven't heard Spirit Box, but Slipknot, Metallica, and Disturbed, yeah, whatever. But it seems like Ghost is actually moving forward.
Well,
Musically.
I'm sure Metallica's glad Jethro Tull's not on the
Hi wow!
nominated this year.
Holy smokums! And then in best
They might
rock
have a chance.
in
Yeah.
best rock performance, the groups are Arctic Monkeys,
I like the
Black,
Arctic Monkeys.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
Black Pumas.
I like Black Pumas.
You know,
Yeah.
uh,
R&B kind of sounding, but a classic kind of R&B sound, kind of
yeah.
70s. Yeah. Pretty cool sound. Yeah, I like
And
them.
then Boy Genius, never heard of, never
It's a
heard of.
girls three. It's like a hipster female super group of sorts.
Is it really?
Yeah, there's
Oh,
three females that kind of were kind of on their own, solo artists and came together.
I
Phoebe Bridgers is one of them. May have heard that name, some of you, but other two I'm not familiar with. But
And
yeah,
then Foo Fighters and Metallica are in the category. So weird. Yeah, I
yeah,
don't know.
Boy
I don't know
Genius to me is
shit.
more alternative, and I think they are actually up for some alternative along with Arctic Monkeys. But I can see Arctic Monkeys is rock. Yeah, I got it. I
I'll
think I
be
got three of
darned.
their
And
CDs.
Foo Fighters and Metallica. Well, gosh, yeah,
Let's face it, anytime they put either one of those bands put out an album, it's going to be Grammy nominated, for rock. I mean, that's just, the state of the rock, I don't know,
yeah.
world at this point, I guess. So,
And then best rock song. Angry by Mick Jagger, the Stones, their latest creation.
You know, it
They're
is a good
actually,
song. You know, it is
it
a
really,
good
yeah,
song.
yeah, it
Yeah.
really is. Yeah. I've heard a couple of songs up there. They're pretty darn good. So good for Mick and the boys. But I, don't- I don't know what the hell else they're up against here, Doc. What do you think?
Yeah,
Jeez.
they got Olivia Rodrigo, who to me, I don't know much, but that seems like
Yeah,
kind of a Britney Spears kind of. I don't. Maybe not. Maybe she's. I don't know.
exactly. Yeah.
Queens of the Stone Age, Josh
Okay.
Homey's band.
All
Familiar with
right.
them? See, I saw
Sure.
them once. Yeah, not too bad.
All right.
Again, Boy Genius, and again, Foo Fighters for Rescued.
Rescued, really? Okay.
Yeah,
Foo Fighters, yeah, they're in everything. Jimmy Creepers at this point. You know,
right.
we're desperate for really high quality rock bands, and there's some, but like Foo Fighters is one of the premier ones. But boy, back in the day, we had so many premier bands
Right.
back in the
That's
'70s
what I'm
and
saying. It
whatnot.
wasn't a
Jeez.
given. You know, the premier rock bands, if they put out an album, it wasn't a given that it's going to be nominated for a Grammy. I think Metallica and Foo Fighters, you know, the state of everything, they're pretty much guaranteed a nomination at least.
Yeah, cause yeah, yeah, yeah. What
Because there's just not much competition. There's just not. You know,
bingo. Yeah. But although speaking of the Foo Fighters, though, in the best album, best rock album, Foo Fighters are in there. But here we are, the album. Greta Van Felt, Fleet,
Fleet.
start. I don't have my glasses on. I can't see shit. The printing is very tiny.
You know Greta Van
72.
Fleet, the band that sounds just like Zeppelin. Those young kids, and
Yes, indeed.
the
Oh
singer
yeah.
just recently came out
Oh, and I'm gonna
as
increase
gay.
the print size here. There we go. Yeah, Metallica, 72 seasons. There you go.
Yeah, it's
Paramore.
pretty much a
I've heard
given.
of them. I haven't, haven't really seen them, but I've heard of them. So,
Yeah,
uh,
I actually saw them one time. We got a Haley Williams, the front one. She's pretty
okay.
good.
Right, right.
And the
And
other rock album is Queens of the Stone Age.
Queens of the Stone Age in Times New Roman. So, yeah, Queens of the Stone Age hopefully they can make some more noise. And also next, best alternative music performance. Oh boy, here's where we get the weirdos, so to speak. Uh, Alves is the first nominee with
Yeah,
Belinda Says.
I'm not even familiar with a lot of these. Yeah.
Okay, Arctic Monkeys, boom, boom, body
Yeah.
paint coming in there. Boy Genius, there they are again, cool about it. Lana Del Rey, A&W. A&W, it's a great drive-in place. They bring out your tray and whatnot. This
Frosty
is
Mug of Root Beer.
Frosty
Yeah.
Mug of Root Beer, you betcha. This is why Paramore finishing out the category. So, yeah, they're moving right along,
I don't, that's to me, that's not alternative. I mean, that's like pop, with Paramore. I don't know. What do I know?
Well, let's move on though to the best alternative music album, and again, Arctic Monkeys topping the list with the car. Boy Genius, there you go again with the record. Lana Del Rey. Did you know that there's a tunnel under Ocean
That's
Boulevard?
pop. That's
And
pop.
here we go, the Gorillas with Cracker Island. Now, Cracker Island. I foresee a song. Oh, oh, we live on Cracker Island with the white people in the, just Cracker Island. I want to know what that's about. Is it about crackers or what? Or is it a slight to white people, or is it just about
I
saltines
doubt
or
it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Cracker Island? I accept it though. I accept the Cracker Island, song title. Finishing off, PJ Harvey. There's a name we finally heard.
Yeah, I got a couple of those. She's
Do you?
I dig her. She's got a really cool sound. She's really, yeah, she takes control of it, man. She's out there. Yeah, I like her a
Oh,
lot.
very cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
the title "I Inside the Old Year Dying." Wow,
Yeah, I'm not
sounds
familiar
pretty
with
deep.
her new album, but yeah, I have a couple other
That's
ones that
pretty
are pretty good.
deep. But and then best new artist, a bunch of people I haven't heard: Coco Jones, Gracie Adams, Fred again, Ice Spice, Jelly Roll. That one we have heard. Noah Kahan,
Noah
Victoria
Khan.
Noah
Yeah, I like him a
Noah
lot too.
Khan. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
Victoria Monet, The War and Treaty. Okay. Yeah, I haven't heard it. I've heard of one
Yeah,
of them.
I've
So
heard two of them, Jelly Roll and Noah Khan. Is
Jelly
pretty much
Roll.
that's where
Yeah,
I go.
yeah. So yeah, and a bunch of we could go on forever. We could go on for an hour, but we just can't go too
Yeah,
deep
that's
in this.
anything to
But
do with the rock world, pretty much.
yeah, yeah. So good for the Grammys. Haven't watched them in forever. I don't know. It's
I
just
used to look forward to that every year, like like the Super Bowl or something. I
yeah,
mean, but again, now last I don't know how many years. I could get two shits less, man. It just doesn't.
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. Better things to do. It appears. Fucking a. So yeah, yeah. It is what it is. But moving on, here's an exciting possibility. Paul McCartney's in, he's in the rock news again. Paul McCartney, and basically, he got together when they had the Taylor Hawkins uh, uh, concert,
Tribute. Yeah.
tribute concert. They were all there, Rush and Dave Grohl and Paul McCartney and whatnot. And sure enough, apparently Dave Grohl, Paul McCartney wanted to meet some of the Rush guys, Geddy and Alex, and so Dave Grohl introduced them, and which is very cool. And what did Paul do? He tried to convince them to get back on the road again. Good for him, boy! Oh boy! Uh, Geddy Lee, he says, Dave was so sweet. He comes up to us at rehearsal and he goes, Paul McCartney's up next to rehearse and he's outside and he said to me, Dave, I've never met anyone from Rush before. And I said, I've never met him. Bring him in, please. And he came in. He's just a very lovely man, a very positive man, sort of like his grandfather in that first movie of theirs. They're Paul's grandfather, lovely man, very clean. And so I asked if he got the sense that McCartney knew that the Rush music. Lee says, Getty says, no, but I got this. No, but I got the sense he knew who we were and had heard about us. Well, I would hope so. He had never listened to us, so at the show he was there. He watched the set. I think it was really curious because people probably had mentioned us to him. But after the show, he was incredible, Getty continued. He was so warm and embracing and positive. He came up and sat and drank with us. We all got plastered together. And he was very emphatic, talking about, what Ringo Starr always says, it's what we do. And I said, talk to Al because Al's the stubborn one. Apparently, Alex is the stubborn one. And so he was lecturing Alex about how great it is to tour. So here you got Paul McCartney lecturing Alex, get your ass out there on tour. You have to do it, man. You have to get back out there, man. And Alex said something like, I'll do it if you'll be our manager, eh? I'll manage you, mate. So, it's funny, McCartney pushing so hard for them to get together, but he's right. It's what you do. Like Ringo says, it's what we do. Yeah. So, gosh. And my thought is, remember when Pantera went out and there was a lot of static about, they're using the Pantera name, blah, blah, blah. All these guys have to do is go out on tour with Rush, a tribute to Neil, and boom, nobody's gonna bitch. They get themselves a good drummer, and they're gonna pack every concert. So I don't know. Hopefully, Sir Paul, stirred up a little, something in there, to get the.
I think he did. You start seeing a lot of articles about this. You always kind of little rumblings here and there or whatever. Somebody else, and it's always just somebody asking. And it's always just somebody asking, hey, do you guys go, I don't know, we'll see, what the future holds, kind of a standard answer or whatever. But yeah, after the Taylor Hawkins thing where they actually got and played together, and then that article goes on, and what I got from it, there's a takeaway is Getty kind of felt like a taboo had disappeared. Like it was almost like he was given permission almost
Exactly.
to kind of
Yes.
to kind of go ahead with it. And
Exactly.
and so yeah, I think these guys are going to get antsy enough, and I think they're going to do it, man. I think they're going to go out there,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then of course who's going to be the drummer? Well, who played with them at the tribute thing? They did the two shows. They did both shows. If you remember, they had one over in England, and then they had one in L.A.
Okay, yeah.
And they had Danny Carey from Tool,
Right.
had Omar Hakim, and then Chad Smith from the Chili Peppers, and Dave Grohl. Now, I don't know if any of those guys would be up
Well,
for a
quite
tour with them, but
honestly, 90% of America or the world's drummers probably have air drummed, half of the
right.
professor's riffs. So any of the good drummers pretty much all know a lot of the songs already. So it's going to be glorious. So they really
Wherever
do
I
need
see
to
it
go out.
in comments or that kind of thing, or whatever on social media, that one name is overwhelmingly on there, and that's Mike Portnoy. He seems to be the overwhelming favorite
Oh, but he's back
to
with
be the
Dream
guy to
Theater
do
now,
it.
like we
He's
talked
back
on
with
one of
Dream
our
Theater,
earlier
yeah,
shows.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be tied up for a little while anyway.
You
Well,
know,
oh God, I'm sure he would jump at the chance, man. I'm sure.
I wouldn't mind if I wouldn't even mind if they got some hot chick singer, to be able to do the songs to note to note, like the old days. Because
Yeah.
Getty can't sing them anymore
No,
like
and he
that.
knows it too. Yeah,
They
he
need,
knows it.
but to be a tribute, really, I
And
would think it'd be great.
that's got to be one of the concerns too. To getting back out there is Getty's voice, man. But
I would
and
hire.
I
I
think
would
they
bring
had
on a quality chick singer. I'm sure a dude could do it, but I'd rather have a hot chick out there. It'd be a tribute to Neil. They don't, it'd be perfect.
I I think at the tribute, I think they had a keyboard player too, so he wasn't there. You always saw those concert footage where Getty, yeah, he's got the keyboards, he's got the bass, and he's got the mic. He's using his nose to move the
Right.
mic.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah. You don't have to do that anymore, Getty. The music crowd would be so honored to have them
yeah,
out there. It
yeah,
would just be, it'd be
just
really
playing the songs, man. Oh,
bring a
yeah,
new drummer, bring on a chick singer, go out
it
there and
would
do
be
your thing. Oh,
huge,
yeah, yeah. So
huge.
I am hoping. I really hope they can
Yeah, I
somehow.
think it happened. Well, not to get on another subject, but we talk about ACDC, and it looks more and more like they're going to do something. I might have to eat my words on that. I didn't think they would,
Oh boy,
but
yeah, they're one
it's
of those
looking more and
guys.
more like they will, though.
Yeah, they're one of those groups. I don't think they can stay down too long. So I don't think retirement pleases them. So yeah, I
Yeah.
expect they'll be out doing something or other. So yeah, here's an interesting story. I love this one. Daryl Hall and John Oates. Oh, look at that broken. Oh, they're broken. Look at that. Oh, geez, broken
They've
between the
split.
two. Yes, Daryl Hall. He obtained a restraining order against John Oates.
What?
They've got a
What?
law. Well,
Oh, it
yes,
can't
yes,
be.
yeah.
Oh, say it ain't
It's
so.
because what happened is Daryl Hawley set his private eyes on the John Oates, and he noticed that they have a they have a joint venture going on, and apparently John Oates is trying to divest, so to speak, his share of the private venture, and it's all under wraps right now, but that's what people are talking about. That he just in terms of, he filed a restraining order, but it's not the normal what you think about a restraining order. It's just a restraining order to keep from John Oates to be moving any further in divestment until they can see what the heck's going on. Until Daryl Hall can find out what the heck's going on. So
Yeah,
that
it
seems to
sounds
be.
like it's not an uncommon thing that they do. This is typically entered in a business dispute to keep one party harming other parties' economic interests. So, yeah, it's not like can't be within 500 feet of each other or
Yeah.
whatever, man. Yeah,
Not one of them deals, but at the
right.
same time, yeah. And
He
so,
keeps driving around my house, blaring
well,
kisses on my list. What am I gonna do?
well,
I gotta get a restraining order against this crazy fuck.
well, I don't know. The thing is, how much was John Oates riding on the coattails of Daryl Hall in terms
Quite
of
a bit, more than we know.
really?
And I was just recently watching, and I rewatched it again because I knew we were going to talk about it. He
Okay.
was on a, I don't know, you Bill Maher, and but
Sure.
he has a YouTube channel, and it's less political, but it's just, he has people like Daryl Hall on, and he had Daryl Hall on there, and they start talking about it. And yeah, Bill Maher was blown away, as I'm sure most of the viewers were watching that. Yeah, Oates had very little to do with a lot of the songs, man. Very little to do. And Bill Maher was like, "Yeah, but come on, man, it's your harmonies." And he goes, "Dude," he goes, "That's all me." He goes, "That's all him. Dude, doing the different harmonies and everything." Oates had very little. He didn't write the song. Most of them were Daryl and his girlfriend and his girlfriend's sister wrote
Oh,
most
wow.
of their hits. And
Holy
yeah,
smokums.
yeah. So
Oh, man.
he's just, his records he's not even on. That's, so I don't know what kind of. But then he goes on to say, "Hey, we're best of friends. I love the guy." You know, so
Wow.
I don't know what kind of arrangement they got. I don't know. But yeah, apparently Dare Hall is probably about, I don't know, from what to hear him talk, probably about 90% of what they did. But
I
I don't
sort of
know.
wouldn't doubt that, I would not be surprised, quite honestly, but yeah, we'll see what's going on with them cats.
But you think about it, I mean, I looked it up. Those guys, I mean, yeah, they were middle of the road, and that's kind of what, one of those, nobody's favorite band, but everybody kind of likes the song or two or whatever. But
Sure.
they had 29 top 40 hits
Oh, cow. Wow.
over the what, a little over a decade. So when they said like mid 70s, they had Sarah Smile. I think it was probably the first one, and then I don't think
Wow.
they had anything later than late 80s. So yeah, about a decade or so, 29 top 40 hits.
Wow.
They
Oh,
definitely had a few good years there.
sure did. Holy, if he,
And
yeah, if
now
he wrote
they're
them all, now he's bitter. He wrote them all. Damn it. Jeez. Oh, here we go. Here's a weird one. Jared Leto. Jared Leto. What's with this cat? 30 Seconds to Mars. Jared Leto. He climbed the Empire State Building so he could announce a 2024 tour. That's really going out of your way. Some people, they make the big press conference to announce a tour. Nah, not this guy. He climbs up a freaking building, a tall building. That is insane. Wow. The multi-talented rocker, and he's an Oscar winner.
yep
He's
for
an Oscar
Dallas
winning
Buyers Club,
actor.
which he was great in, by the way. Yeah, he was really good.
Unbelievable.
So
He's also an avid climber, and he decided that he would attempt the first ever climb of the New York Empire State Building. The building is he English?
no,
No,
God
he's
no.
American. The building is a testament of all things that can be done in the world if we put our mind to it, which is largely the inspiration behind our most recent album. It's the end of the world, but it's a beautiful day. That's what he said right there. So yeah, so he climbed up a freaking building. Wow, that guy's nuts. And I thought I saw a picture of that his mom took at a certain floor. She was in there and she took pictures of her son climbing up the
Climbing
building.
outside, yeah.
Holy cow, that is insane. Wow.
Yeah, he's the first guy to do it. People know he's, like I said, an Oscar winning actor. He's been in a ton of movies, and he's got this band, and it's, legit band. 30 Seconds to Mars, not particularly my taste, but they are been around for a long time, so kind of a legit band.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're doing this massive freaking tour, man. I was looking at
Oh
it. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
they're going everywhere,
Starting
and
in South America in March.
yeah.
And then they're going to the UK, they're going to Europe, North America, Australia, New Zealand, all the way through late September. Holy
So
smokes.
yeah, you got the
Well,
big
he's got to
tour,
be in good shape to do that. And
and
obviously, he's in really good shape.
and I got thinking, how old is this guy? Because they've been around for a while. I'm
Well,
thinking he's been around
I'd
for a
look at
while.
him. I'd look at him. He looks like 35. I said he looks like 35.
He's 51.
Man.
51 years old and climbing a freaking Empire State
Oh,
Building.
jeez.
Well,
Wow.
first, I'm surprised they let him. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. I'll show
Uh,
myself out.
I'll be darned. That's really crazy, though. Good for him, Jiminy Creepers to be
Yeah,
in
good
that
way
kind of
to
shape.
announce the tour. It's gonna get some attention, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of attention,
And how many people other than King Kong can
dun,
say they, climbed the Empire State Building?
dun, 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 dun. Here we go. The legend, Ozzy. Oh, cripes. He's constantly in the news. And of course, in
Gotta
the
get
last
Ozzy
few
on the
weeks,
show, man.
in the,
Yeah.
in the last few weeks, he's filled up while we were taking our vacation, he filled up a whole bunch of articles here. Holy cow. I don't know. I like to start with the Ozfest. Sharon explaining why the Ozfest came to an end. And, I went to a couple Ozfests with one of my sons back in, oh gosh, I don't know when the hell
Late
it was.
90s, early 2000s. Yeah.
But she says, because people ask, why the hell would you stop Ozfest? And she said, it was a very weird beast because of all the bands were our mates, but the managers were greedy. And for some reason, they thought we were making billions on it, and we weren't. We made a profit, but it was not like we couldn't retire on it. Our managers and agents wanted more and more and more, and it just wasn't cost effective anymore. We stopped because it just wasn't cost effective, she elaborated. Here's the good part. I love this. Sharon then recalled that during the second or third year of Ozfest, one band refused to go on stage to perform unless she gave them an additional $10,000. She agreed to the request as they were disrupting the flow of the rest of the festival. Jack Osborne questioned which
Yeah,
act she was referring to, and she eventually revealed that it was Danzig.
but
Danzig.
maybe that's where that footage comes where the roadie
And
knocks him
then
out
and then they
backstage, man.
then they went on and played, and I didn't give them the money. I went, fuck you. You signed a contract. Your agent agreed to it, and you're just gorging. Holy schmookums.
I was gonna say you got to, because you do that to one band, you're gonna do it to every band. They're all gonna be doing that, man. Yeah, you gotta stand by that. So
Boy, but
look at
I'm sure
Danzig, man.
I
He's
could
just, I don't know.
imagine. Well, I couldn't imagine putting on a festival like that and have to deal with all the different managers, all the different personalities. And
Right.
she's already a horrible person as it is, apparently. So, oh
Well, you
man,
know, her dad was the hardest nosed of the hard nosed man.
oh yeah,
He was a manager of a lot of
agent and all
acts.
that, manager,
Yeah,
agent, all that stuff. So
yeah,
yeah, she learned.
yeah. She learned from him.
But boy, oh boy. So that's why that's what happened to Ozfest anyway. But then moving on to more Ozzy material. I mean, he's
Well, even with
wow.
the Ozfest, they got they're releasing the documentary on that. Did you see that?
No, no.
They're putting out the documentary. We sold our souls for rock and roll, and
I
it's
got the album.
yeah, oh yeah, great album. And after 20 years, I guess it was put out in 2001. Penelope Spheris, you know
Oh,
her
I've
name.
heard her. Yeah, yeah.
She directed the Wayne's World movies, and I know
Right.
her
Yeah.
mostly from the Decline of Western Civilization movies. Did a series of three of those, which are all awesome documentaries. And so anyway, she did the documentary. It came out in 2001, and they showed it at several film festivals. It was like 8 or 9 film festivals. So it was out. You know, it's a done project and out there. And then for whatever reason, then Sharon shelved it, and now she's kind of
Figures.
giving the go ahead, and it's getting put out there. So
I'll be
um,
darned.
yeah.
They just keep rolling. Ozzy, he's going to be
Well, on
honored
that
with the.
tour, well, yeah. Before we move on, yeah, on that tour, yeah, that was a tour 20 years ago. The Black Sabbath reunion was on that. They had Slipknot, Rob Zombie, System of a Down, Godsmack, Fear Factory, and they said there's a part where a Buckethead is playing in a cemetery, which
Ah,
that's the price of admission right there.
sure.
So yeah, that might be a cool thing to see. We sold our souls for rock and roll. Again, Penelope Sphere, she knows how to do it, so I'm sure it's done very well. And yeah,
Okay. Yeah. And he's going to be honored with an Icon Award at the inaugural Rolling Stone UK Awards. Good grief. Rolling Stone, gee, they used to be great, but now it's just a bunch of political crap and whatnot. But at least Ozzy's getting the award. He's just thrilled about it. Well, I've had a long career and I raised a few fucking eyebrows along the way. And I've met some amazing people too. I've done some good gigs and I've done some fucking bad gigs. Thank you very much for giving me this award. And it really means a lot to me. Bullshit. Who cares? You don't even know what the hell he's getting. So
Yeah,
whatever.
just a standard kind of
Rolling
picture or whatever.
Stone UK awards. Yeah, whatever.
But it's odd. This is the very first one. He's getting the very first one, which I don't know.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Rolling Stone.
I think they
I
figure
don't
what's going to get us the most attention, and get us
I don't
Ozzy.
hold Rolling Stones to the
No, not in very high
most
regard
high
anymore. Yeah.
regard at this point.
Yeah.
They really
Thing interesting
sunk
with
a
Rolling
lot.
Stone UK to me, people may not know this. Rolling Stone started the Rolling Stones, Mick and the boys were they were quite put out by it. Hey, they're using our name, and you don't even have us on the cover of the first issue. If you remember, they had the John Lennon one. I just remember they had the army thing. You never seen that picture, but
Yeah,
yeah, done
yeah.
the first one, and so they were kind of at odds or whatever. And then eventually they made up, and Rolling Stones were on the cover of Rolling Stone, and so they started a Rolling Stone UK, and it was Mick Jagger and Jan Winter. They were involved in it together, and it was just, I guess, just very poorly mismanaged, and just just kind of fell apart. And Mick lost interest in it, and just kind of fell apart. So to see that this is the first one, just the first awards they've had. I don't know how long they've been around, but
Boy, yeah. It just it means nothing. It's another doorstop. Crying out loud.
yeah,
And
just more business people patting themselves on the back.
moving on. Jack Osborne, Ozzy's son. He doesn't think Ozzy will ever tour again. Well, that's a big duh. But he says he may do one-offs, a festival here or there. But I wouldn't even expect that at this point. You know what? He's got Parkinson's disease, got the nasty fall. So I think it's time to hang it up. But of course, Ozzy, he's gonna keep trying to do one more gig. But I say, hang it up, Ozzy. Good career. Enough
Yeah, it
is
seems like
enough.
the more you hear from the family. I saw Sharon on an interview a while back, and she addressed it and just kind of him hawing around it a little bit. I think they like to leave that caveat out there. Maybe we'll do a festival, but they always kind of like, yeah, and kind of tours are out of the question at this point.
Yeah,
But
enough of that.
yeah,
Enough
I just keep
already.
putting out the maybe a festival someday. But yeah, we'll see. That's what it
Okay.
was going to be, the Power Trip Festival, and you saw that didn't happen. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And one last item before we bug out here. Snoop Dogg, who we saw this summer. Yeah, yeah. The big deal was, oh, Snoop Dogg's gonna stop smoking. Yeah, yeah. Snoop Dogg's gonna stop smoking. All sorts of people. Well, he's gonna go on. He's gonna eat edibles. He's gonna do gummies. Blah blah blah. It was a genius marketing campaign for a smokeless barbecue pit or whatever in your
Yeah, yeah.
on your deck. So funny commercial though. He got it over on everybody. Snoop, good for you. Probably making a boatload of money. Hopefully, he's got a piece of the action in that smokeless thing. So good for you, Snoop. Fucking a, had everybody fooled, because they Snoop Dogg gonna stop smoking? Nah, yeah, nope, he ain't stopped smoking. But when he's sitting out there on his deck, he'll be smoke free from wood. It'll just be, the
Yeah,
smoke
the
from his
smokeless.
ganja.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that's that, man. Very cool. But anyway, wow. That was a long hour there, Doc. We got a lot covered, man. A lot to talk about. And here we go. We're back on, back from vacation and rolling again. So freaking A, we'll see you next week, Doc. See what happens with some of these stories we talked about. See how they evolve, if you will. And man, we'll see how it goes. So until next week, we'll see you then. So why don't you take us home there, Doc?
Yeah, thanks for stopping by, everybody, and not forgetting about us, and seeing what's going on this week. So, yeah, well, like I said, we'll kind of see how some of these stories develop, and however they do, we'll be sure to bring it to you. So we'll keep doing it. I would say each and every week, but obviously we missed a couple weeks. But hey, we're only human. So until next time, have a great rock and roll filled week, everybody.